Good evening. Next news. Democrats responded to a new anti-porn bill with an image that will haunt Ted Cruz forever. BuzzFeed. To be fair, I completely forgot about this. Below are your comments. As a librarian, pornography definitions have been discussed in many classes, workshops and conferences. First, it is hard to define and, secondly, it is a slippery slope. What one person defines as pornography is not what another person finds as offensive. We don't need any politicians trying to police the morality of the citizenry when they can't even abide by the ethics they agreed to as a condition of their positions. I think the lie that Republicans are for smaller government and want government out of people's lives has been fully exposed now. Republicans want smaller government for businesses to do whatever they want to make money, while they want to control every aspect of our daily lives. They want to tell us what surgeries we can have, what content we can watch, who we can love, what bathroom we should use, what we do in our bedrooms and what we can protest. For a party that's supposed to be anti-big government, why are they trying to make this a government decision? From banning library books to porn, this should be something that adults should decide on their own. If you don't like something, then don't access it. If you're worried your kids are accessing material too mature for them, then take an interest in our kids rather than expecting the government to do so. You know, they have this thing called the First Amendment. I understand the First Amendment doesn't cover everything, like yelling fire in a crowded theater nor other insightful speech, but I don't anything being outlawed that involves consenting. Key word there. I is just further proof that the extreme right in the US is very little different than the Ayatollahs who run Iran. Both seem to want a nation with a morality police that judges what is and is not permissible. Strange that it usually falls hardest on women every time. If they get away with this, the next step will be blocking VPN use or activating the Great Firewall of the US the way China has theirs. Then you have thought and information control, and the Party of Freedom can tell you what to think by blocking access to truth. I'm not defending porn as much as access to information. I'm sure this is in Project 2025 somewhere. This hasn't been talked about enough but needs to be brought up. Republicans are slowly trying to creep us toward a Christian theocracy. This is not hyperbolic. Research the Alliance Defending Freedom or the ADF. They have been laying the groundwork to pass Christian-based laws for decades now. They are the reason Roe was overturned. Amy Coney Barrett and Mike Johnson both worked for this firm, and they are spreading in government. Please wait a moment. MAGA will introduce this bill, but anytime there is someone arrested for nefarious acts dealing with this topic, they are almost always of their ilk. Is this that keeping big government out of people's personal lives I keep hearing about from Republicans? MAGA brand logic. School bleepings are an acceptable side effect of the Second Amendment, and pornography is an unacceptable side effect of the first. I propose as a first step we look at the hard drive's memory of every GOP-owned digital device. That's where the mother lode lies. What most people don't know is that the internet became useful for commerce around 1991. Before that, the internet was only used by the government, universities and the military. What caused the internet to be improved over and over was the porn industry. The porn industry pushed the limits of network capacity, operating systems, hardware, graphics, photography, digitization of images, and on and on. Without porn, we wouldn't experience the excellent internet functionality we have today. Before the internet, pornography was available in the form of hardcopy magazines, e.g. Playboy, Hustler, and many others that are still sold today, i.e. old school porn. The internet streamlined the delivery of porn and greatly improved the quality. I would bet that every member of the GOP has viewed porn, and that would be easy to verify. Every porn website keeps track of activity from its users, i.e., GOP, MAGA. All that is needed is a review of the porn website audit trail, and that would reveal all the GOP and other hypocrites. Boy, MAGA sure does like laws governing how you work and live and are against any freedoms you have. Can't wait until they take the guns away. They'll never say that. What they will do is take away the ammo supply by saying they need to stockpile for some foreign war. MAGA will never have a clue. How is this helping Americans through these economic times? Bring it on. Banning porn at the federal level is a guaranteed way for the Republican Party to never hold power or at least another generation. Tariffs, inflation, Social Security, taxes, abortion, none of that will matter if people can't squeeze one out in the privacy of their own home. The right is up to its old censorship tricks again. They should be trying to fix the monetary and fiscal issues, but they waste everybody's time with TS garbage. Do they think that the US is spending too much? Are we going to be able to pay the trillions of dollars of maturing treasuries? I know what will happen. They will sell more treasuries to pay off the maturing ones. No meaningful cuts to spending will be made. The voters will be appeased and it will be business as usual, resulting in more inflation. You voted for this. You vote for failure every time you vote Republican or Democrat. You deserve the catastrophe headed your way. My fear is that when the GOP creates these types of laws, they make them so vague that it leaves interpretation to what is. They seem to do this on purpose as part of the fear, so no one is ever sure the so-called law is being broken. 0. So we end up with someone saying wearing light blue is against the law, so then no one wears any blue. Because what can be considered the shade that is considered illegal? The good old GOP party. The same people who crashed the Grindr site at the Republican convention in 2024. Such great role models. Do politicians really think they can control what erotic content private citizens are going to indulge in? What, exactly, will they criminalize? Are we going to have the porn police doing random searches of our devices? And what will they do to Trump? After all, he's said. Will Trump be indicted for porn? The far right tried this when Nixon was pres. Something about the First Amendment says you can't stop freedom of expression. The adult entertainment business is a multi-billion-dollar business that happened to line the pockets of these so-called Republicans supporting this bill. If this bill passes, won't it shut down Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert and Mount Green's side hustle for Ma King money? How did Trump's investigation of the Cruz family's involvement in the Kennedy assassination turn out? He claimed they were all linked to that. You know he never lies. I want to point out how silly this bill is. Let's say it actually passes and criminalizes IT. Outside the USA, IT will still be legal. Ever heard of a VPN? People with the will in the USA will figure out how to gain access and get around the restrictions. International adult content providers outside the US hope this bill is passed because they are seeing $. This is all politics. This bill is being proposed to get Democrats or politicians who believe in free speech to vote again. Saint it so Mike Lee and the bill supporters can say they favor access to adult content. If they wanted to actually do something positive in the adult industry, pass a bill requiring these adult content studios to have to pay performers royalties for their performances. Anyone want to wager how many Congress members view adult content once in a while? Should certain types of porn be illegal, Yeah, and most if not all of those types are already illegal. For instance, video porn that is actually unconsented in any way, or revenge porn to some, should 100% be illegal. Art that is hand-drawn of fictional characters in that type of situation is a different matter in my opinion. Child porn is also illegal the last I heard, so not much to say there. Pretty much if it's not a fictional being there are already limits, with fictional beings being a GREY area that is argued about to this day. That all said, I do think parents should have protective locks on their children's computers that prevent them from viewing or changing any settings or resetting to factory defaults until said child is 18, which is when it is legal for them to view such things. Not that all young. It is more on the parents to ensure their child is safe on the internet. Yes, I know it's not 100% as it never was, and most likely never will be. However, parents need to be parents, and the government needs to stop trying to help the parents be parents. Can they help parents at all? Sure, but there is a fine line that they should never cross, and this would be one of those things that is crossing that line. I can see this also being a religious thing, which needs to stop too. If you believe religiously that porn is bad, fine, good for you, but don't try to force others to conform to your beliefs. Ted Cruz doesn't know what a woman is and has to ask the Supreme Court nominee. The GOP, taking your freedoms one by one. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.